think we're almost live. We're just waiting on the stream going up on YouTube. This is Friday Night 9-Ball. The weekly 9-ball tournament, double elimination, race to 7 and race to 4 on the one lost side. It's handicapped. If you're handicapped, or if you're given a handicap, you'll be given extra money balls, the money ball being the 9-ball, and any other balls after that. We've got about a minute or so to go, and the bracket will be drawn. At the moment the stream is looking good. I've got a green bar saying everything's okay, so let's see how we go. Now let's go to the bracket. Well, we're just waiting on the draw being done. It still says event and sign-ups. Let's see how many players we're in. We had 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've now got 12. So it's a pretty good turnout. Right, the bracket is now active, or the event is now active, so let's go to the bracket. Let's get the update to 30 seconds and we'll have a look and see what we've got. We've got Lady Hawk against Mark Shark in a first round match, and I think what other matches we've got? We've got Houdini's got a bye. We've got Romario against Andre Hagus. Larry's got a bye. Popman's playing Daily Hustle. Paranormal Echoes has a bye. A Hero Men Kill is playing Bedhead, and Z Karaoke has a bye. So the match we're going to watch is the match between Romario and Andre Hagus, and tournament rooms are up, and we'll nip in and see what's happening in this match. So we've got Andre Hagus in, we're waiting on Romario joining, unless he's fallen asleep already. And we've now got an orange light on the stream. It all seems to happen Friday night. Must be just a busy traffic. So Romario's joined, and we've got the two players lagging off. I don't know what one's what. But the player on the left has won the lag, and the player on the left is Andre Hagus, so he's going to break off. It's winner breaks. And if we just look at the HUD at the top of the screen, we can see it's a race to 7 and there is no handicap, so both players are playing scratch. And straight away we've got a dry break. Easy enough to come across for the 2. And he'll just look to stop the cue ball there. I think he can just run through as well. Just hold for the 4. Now if he'd gone a little further, it would have been easier getting on the 5. Can take it into the... Well, he's decided to run behind it. He's in a bit of no man's land. He could have taken that into the left or the right middle, so now it's a judgment of pace. And I'm not sure whether he wanted to run through to take that 6 into the right corner or not, but as it is, he's now out of line. So a chance for Andre. Now let's see if he's got those sort of little nervous twitches under control. We've watched him a couple of weeks, Andre, and I think, as I've said before, I think he gets a wee bit nervous in the tournaments. And he's well out of line with that one. He might have got away with it. And Romario looking to play the combo. But as usual, he seems to always be in a bit too much of a hurry. I think Andre can just drop behind 8. I think he's pretty straight in this 7. And this first rack should be over. So each player getting a couple of chances in the rack. But Andre gets off the mark and he leads by 1 rack to 0. And we've gone to green again in the stream. That's weird. So that's 2 racks, or 2 breaks, sorry, but there is nothing gone down. Romario's got a straight enough 1 ball, but he's going to have to do something miraculous to get on this 2. Let's have a look at the 2. The 2 goes past the 4 and the 6. And he's 2 straight in the 1 as well, so he's going to have to try and manufacture something here. Bottom and right hand English to try and push the cue ball up the table. But of course that sends the 1 ball offline. I think Andre could maybe kick this 1 ball in. He can just maybe clip it coming off the right hand side of that rail. No idea whether he's going to get on the 2 though. How's his luck? Well, he's got a shot, but again, of course, he's got no chance of getting on the 3. So no damage done. And I don't even think, you can't even make any pot on that 3. It's just going to have to be a bank or a safety from Romario. A good chance to hide the cue ball here. Well, he's gone a bit too far, but he can still use a bit of right English to push the cue ball up towards the 6 and the 4. And that looks pretty good. Well, he's unlucky there. I thought it was maybe going to spin in behind the 6. Well, he's got the cut in the 4. It's not easy, and he's more than likely going to hit that 6 ball. He'd be unlucky if he doesn't have some sort of shot in the 5 though. Bound to nudge the 6 out the way somehow or other. Well, he's missed the 6. And he just overcut it slightly. Oh dear. Well, I think he would have been okay had he not scratched. And Romario, well, he's going to have to make a choice here. He's going to have to either cut it into the middle or play it into the top left, but top left's a shot. Gets him on the 6 ball. So this is Romario's chance. And he's got the angle in the 7. Can stun across for the 8, or he can run through and punch it across. He's stunned it across. And a good angle to get the cue ball out. Now, what I haven't done is check my little doodle thing. And that's working okay. So, Romario ties the match up. Back all square. And breaking open rack number 3. Now the 7 ball's going in this time. First time we had a ball in the break, but he's got no shot in the 1. Again, he should get good distance here. Just thin that 1 as thin as he can. And likewise for Andre, if he can get this very thin, he should be able to get that cue ball up the table and try and get it behind the 2, the 9 and the 6. Needed a wee bit more pace, and he could find himself in trouble this time. Well, Romario decided to go for the pot. Brave shot, and he's got lucky. He's got the 2. I think he can stun past that 9. Well, he stunned it, but didn't get into it enough. And the old kick and hope on the 3 ball. Well, he'll not be bothered about that because the 4 ball's tied up, I think. Let's have a look. Well, that 4 ball can be cheated into the pocket. But only for, obviously, from the left hand side. It's not going to go any other way. Well, if he pots this 3 long into the top right, he can actually run into those balls. I don't know what he's doing, how he's lining up here. It looks as if he's lining up into the middle, or trying to play a safe. Well, that'll do. Wasn't willing to take the risk to try and split them. And again, Romario, he could be playing safe, or he could be playing the bank and trying to split them, or playing the cut. Well, he's decided to play the safety, but it's weak. And let's have a look at that. Well, Andre's got another chance of a good safety. He can draw that cue ball back into the bunch if he wants to. And that looks good. That's beautiful. That's a very nice shot, and that's got Romario in trouble. Well, of course, Andre doesn't want to split these 2 balls here, trying to hit this 3. He doesn't want to batter this cue ball around the table. If he's going to miss, he might as well leave Romario some work to do. So ball in hand, and he's going to try and run through into them. Well, maybe not. Maybe he thinks he's going to cheat the pocket. Well, it's opened up now, so that there must have been a slight hit. I never even noticed, but 4 balls now wide open. And this is all about pace. Oh, he's going to hook himself. Is he? Oh dear, now that's a poor one. Well, Andre, a gift here, a chance to go 2-1 in front, and it looks fairly simple as long as he can get that cue ball over here and just drop behind. Well, he's taking it the other way, so he's going to draw back. We had 2 choices. Mind you, I never looked at the angle I had, so maybe it was easier for him to do that and just draw back. And that all came about from that poor position there for Romario. Hooked himself, and Andre into the lead. Good evening, Albie. Now this time, the 7 ball's gone down. Andre hasn't got a shot in the 1. He's got to get a wee bit wise here and not do anything silly. These balls are in the open, so he needs a good safety here, unless he's going to try. I don't know whether he can even bank that. No, he can't bank that. Well, he's done the worst thing. Miscued, ball in hand. So here we go. Romario's got an open table. Nothing, no problem to clear these balls. The question is whether he can do it. Again, he's got a bit high angle on this 3. He needs to watch the pace. And of course, trying to kill the pace there, he's sent the 3 ball offline, so thrown away a chance already, Romario. And this could be an important rack for Andre. He needs to get an angle on this 5 ball though. He can't leave it straight. Now ideally he would want to come up the table here and take the 6 into the middle, so he's heading towards the 8. It's got to be an accurate shot if he's going to leave this long into the bottom right hand corner, and that's what he's doing. And he needs to be careful he doesn't go in off. Probably better just rolling through slightly here, and he's okay. Now he's going to leave the 9 ball long. Looks like it. So a fair few mistakes, most of them coming from Romario so far. Oh dear, is that going in? Oh, I thought he was heading to the rail there. But Andre has opened up a gap. 3-1. And this time, I think we've got a couple in. We've lost the 4 and the 7 ball, and Andre's got a shot in the 1. Again, an awkward one to get down onto that 2 ball. That's going too hard. He's going to scratch. So again, the mistake's been made. And again, Romario's got ball in hand. And the 8 ball isn't a problem. It's just getting the right angle on it to be able to pot it comfortably and hold for the 9. So he's going to come across to the right off the rail. And he's gone too far, so now he's in trouble. But you can actually run up behind the 8 ball here, and that looks pretty good pace. Now what's the angle like he's got? Let's have a look. Well, he can take the 9 into the same pocket. Well, he's dug himself out a hole there. Done well. And very quickly, this time Romario's taking his chance, and he's got 1 back and breaking open rack number 6, but getting nothing. Two balls tied up in the rail, nothing doing there. Andre, I think's played the push out there. Well, that was probably a dangerous shot to play the push out onto the 9, because the 9 ball's now hanging, and the first chance that anybody gets, they'll be slamming a ball onto that 9 ball. And Romario, well, I don't know what he's doing here. He's trying to come up and get a shot in the 2. He's managed to do it. Now the chances are he's going to play a billiard from the 3 onto the 9 here. And he's missed the 2. Let's have a look what he left himself. Well, he'd have had to play the combo, he couldn't play the billiard. But as it is, Andre might have a chance to do that in a second or two if he can cut this 2. He's going to have to get the pace right. Cue ball needs to go here, here and back out. Well, that'll do, but he's missed a 2 by quite a margin. So neither player getting a grip here in this rack. But that looks a good pace. Is it gone too hard though? No. So he can play the combo, he can play the billiard, and it's rack over. Now there's a result come in very early there. A Hero Men Kill has beaten Bedhead by 7 racks to 1. I don't know what the handicap was there. But back to this match. Andre's taken the gift and knocked in the 9. And he's now got the 2 rack lead again. Leading by 4 racks to 2. Yeah, Romario is a player who blows hot and cold, usually from one shot to the next, not so much one match to the next. And I still think he plays too quick sometimes for his own good. Doesn't take enough time. He's going to have to do something here though, and pretty quickly. So the 4's tied up with the 8. The 2, that can probably cheat the pocket again. He needs to just skim past the 6. Well, he's hit it firm, left it hanging. And no immediate worries at the moment as long as that 4 and the 8 ball stay tied up. But now if that 4 bounces out, Andre got the split, but he's actually just tied up the 3 again. 3's blocked by the 4. He could try the billiard onto the 4 with the cue ball. And he tried that but got the double kiss. And now's a chance for Romario. Open table again. Everything sitting there for the taking. Of course the problem is getting from the 7 to the 8. It looks easy enough. And that 8 ball's fairly tight to the rail. Well, maybe an inch off it. But he's got to get in a close enough distance, and he's overhit that. And straight away he has a problem to deal with. Well, Andre, I don't think he's really got much on here. There's no way of getting onto the 8 ball unless he produces something spectacular here. The angle's wrong on the 7. He could bank it and just play with a lot of top in the cue ball. Maybe top and left hand, right hand English, try and punch the cue ball up towards or down towards this 8 ball as we look, but I think it's nigh on impossible to get on the 8 ball. I don't think Andre's too sure exactly what he's going to try and do here. Well, he's tried the cross double, and it almost worked. Of course, the pace of the cue ball there was nowhere on the 8, and that was his problem. And this time Romario gets the double bank. He's got a slight angle on the 8, and didn't get enough spin on that. Needed a bit more stun and spin to stay up the left hand side of the table, and he's tried to kick the 9 in. Now that's not, I don't think that's a great bank, so he's going to try and thin cut it. Needs to watch the cue ball though. And got to go for this 100%. Make sure he hits it firm. And then it goes. Where's the cue ball? Cue ball's okay. So now Romario is in trouble. He's now trailing by 5 racks to 3, and Andre breaking open rack number 8. Now this is the sort of time you would expect Romario to try and focus a bit more now that he's in trouble. So Andre potted the 5 ball in the break, decided to play the push out. And that's a pretty good safety. I don't know whether he can squeeze past the 2. Let's have a quick look. No, that is a good shot. Is it? Can he just get past that 2? Well, he could certainly just spin past it slightly and maybe catch the edge of the 1, but other than that, it's not an easy shot to hit. He's going to try and jump this. I think he's far too close to jump that. No, he's managed to do it. It's well done, but he's left the... Has he left the 1? No, 4's blocking it. Combo. Now just get that cue ball about a foot away from that right middle pocket for the shot in the 2. That'll do. He's got a slight angle. He could end up playing this 3 ball long into this pocket. I don't know whether it goes past the 6 and the 8 there into the middle. Let's have a look. No, that's not that comfortable, and I think he's a bit weak there. So Andre's getting himself in trouble. Didn't negotiate the jump. And once again, Romario's got ball in hand. Now this time, he has to run this table. Now this can go wrong if he gets into those, the 8 and the 9. And straight away it's gone wrong. That is a very, very poor shot. More than obvious that that can happen there. And he's thrown away his chances here, Romario. And this will give Andre all the more confidence. Now, just a simple cut in the 8. Nothing to do with the cue ball. The cue ball's coming out into the middle of the table for the 9 into the left middle. You don't need to worry about the cue ball. Just let the cue ball do its thing. And another result came in. Potman against Daily Hustle. Daily Hustle has won by 7 racks to 3. And meanwhile, Andre duly obliges and finishes off rack number 8 and leads now by 6 racks to 2. So Romario's now at the point of no return. And it's asking a lot for Romario to win the next 5 racks. Well, Andre should be nailed behind the 2 ball here. I think that 5 ball's in the way of the kick. It looks dead in line. So this is very much like deja vu in the last 3 or 4 racks. Andre's made the mistake. Romario's got ball in hand. This time he has to run it again. And he's just held that and no more. Now he needs to get behind the 4, so he's coming up for the 6. And again he's fell short, so now the cue ball's having to run, and that 8 ball's in the way, and so is the 9. And now here's a tester. He's going to go for the bank. The 9 ball's hanging. He's missed the bank, and well, that's the sort of luck you need. 8 balls blocking the path of the 6. Andre's lining up a long combo. He needs to take his time, use his shot clock and just focus the hit. And in it goes. Now how's his luck? Well, that's the only place he could finish where he's going to have nothing. He might be able, if he just pushes this up the rail, he could go in off the 9. And that's excellent. Very good shot. So this for the match. And that's a good win for Andre. He wins the match by 7 racks to 2, and Romario is over on the 1 loss side. So we've got a few results come in, and let's have a look at the bracket and see what's what. Well, we've got that first round match still going on, which is Lady Hawk and Mark Shark. Lady Hawk getting a 5 ball, and Mark Shark's leading by 5 racks to 3. Andre Hagus is going to be playing Larry, and Andre's getting a 7 and 8 ball as the extra money ball. Daily Hustle is playing Paranormal Echoes, and A Hero Men Kill is playing Z Karaoke, and that match is at 1-all, and that's the match we're going to have a look at now. And just as we join it, A Hero Men Kill's got a 9 ball to take a 2 rack to 1 lead. Bonjour, Stwain. So in this match we have a scratch match as well. No handicap for either player. They're both evenly matched as far as the ratings go. And the kick by Z Karaoke, and you'll be pleased with that. He's left nothing. And Hero Main Kill gets the kick and the 1, but I think he's left a reasonable combo here in this 1 and 5. And now Z Karaoke should be looking at the safety. Well, he's tried to bank the 1 onto the 9, and now it could be costly. And then again it might not. He might have got away with it. Oh well, I wasn't expecting that. That was a good shot. I think a Hero Main Kill maybe just tried to knock that 1 in. I don't know whether he was specifically playing the billiard onto the 9, but it doesn't matter. He's got it, and he's now leading by 3 racks to 1. Dry break. And straight away Z Karaoke is going to try a combo again here, I think. Try and cut the 1 on, or billiard the... I think he'll have to cut this. I don't think he can billiard the 9 in. Well, in the end, he's just slashed at it and didn't even move the 9. Now, this would be a good 1 ball to cut in for a Hero Main Kill. Oh, he's went past it and hit it on the way back. So, I was going to say it was going to be a good chance for a Hero Main Kill to open up a big gap, but it's reversed to Z Karaoke. And just a reminder where these players are from. Z Karaoke from Brazil, a Hero Main Kill from the UK, and Z Karaoke is left that a bit short. He's going to have to hold the cue ball here with a bit of inside English. Maybe miss the 6 if he can. Well, that's a good shot. He's hit the 6 and it's held him for the 4. And just a little drop in the 4, but again, you can't leave this straight. The problem now is the 6 is going to end up in a combo onto the 9, the way this is looking. 7 balls blocking into the bottom left, so he needs to get up to this middle pocket on the left hand side, and he needs to get it in line as best he can. Well, in the end I don't know what he tried, but it certainly didn't work out, and he's going to have a bash at a bank here. This is a sort of bank and hope. He could try stunning onto the 9, but he's decided to play safe. Another chance here for Z Karaoke. And a good chance, he has to take it. And this looks simple enough. Just a roll in the 7. Oh, he's overhit that. Got the nudge in the 8, but overhit it. Well, this is a straight, plenty of top on the 7 ball, and a good bit of power to get that cue ball through the 7 ball off the top rail and back down. Well, he's played the bank and he's got it. Could have played it the other way, but it wasn't the best of bank angles, but he got away with it. So Z Karaoke looks as if he's going to reduce the deficit, trailing by just the 1 and breaking off in rack number 6. A couple of balls into the top left. I think the 3 and 5 are both gone, and he's also got a shot in the 1. The problem, of course, is the 2 ball isn't doing anything. It's blocked by the 6. He can play a tight little safety here if he wants. And that wasn't a great shot. He could be in trouble himself in a second here. And no doubt Z Karaoke will dig out the jump stick here. And he fails in the jump shot. So ball in hand. Now can Hiromenkill take this rack out? Oh dear. Not a good effort. There's this cue ball finishing. Nudge onto the 7. That'll do it. Pocket is still open for the 6. Perfect angle on the 7. He just needs to get past that 9 ball on the left hand side. Now this is always the trouble here. It's all about pace. Just get that cue ball somewhere over there and that'll do. So we're now tied up, 3 racks all. Dry break. Now while they're patting about in this rack, let's have another quick look at the bracket and see what's happening. Well, Larry's up by 2 racks to 0 against Andre, and Daily Hustle is trailing by 4 racks to 1 against Paranormal Echoes, and Daily Hustle's the one getting the 7 and out. And this is our match here. Hiromenkill's overhit that by about a foot. Wanted that 2 ball into the top left as we look. And he tried the elaborate combo in the 9. That didn't work out. But Z Karaoke is going to have to play a combo as well here. Question is where's the 2 ball going to finish? Well, in the end he didn't play the combo, he just punched the 2-ball around the table and he's got away with it. This time I've no doubt that Z Karaoke will try the billiard onto the 9 off the 2. And in it goes. Perfect. Got the bank and the billiard onto the 9 and back into the lead. That was a good shot. Once again, there's nothing doing. A little attempt at the billiard onto the 8-ball. Z Karaoke's reverting a bit to the way he first played when he first came into Virtual Pool 4. Doing a fair bit of slamming. Well, here's a chance for a decent safety here. Just punch that 1 as long as it misses a 6. Well, he's hit the 6. If it had missed that 6, he could have probably had a Hero Men kill in trouble there. I think he still probably has. No, he's left an edge. And that's going to cut in. Well, again, the wrong angle in this 2 to get onto the 3. Well, the 2 doesn't go. I mean, it might go off that jaw, but that's got to be an accurate shot. You just got to feather that 2 past the 8 and let the... Well, he managed to get it clean. It looked very tight, but he's going to have to pull out a couple of good shots here if he's going to win this rack. Again, Z Karaoke. Well, he's using power as a solution, and power isn't working. Banging balls isn't going to get you a lot of success. And again, Z Karaoke's got nothing on other than a long combo. And he's managed to fluke the 8-ball, and that's the one thing that's frustrating when you're playing somebody that starts banging balls and then they start fluking balls as well. And now he's got a good opportunity to win this rack, and a Hero Men kill might be getting a bit frustrated if he does win this rack. What's the quality like in mobile, Albie? It can't be that good. You surely can't see a great picture. Well, this is going to be a long 9 into the bottom left if he just rolls the 7 in, unless he tries and does something elaborate again. Just a slow roll. So this for a 5-3 lead. So in goes the 9. Z Karaoke somehow is leading by 5 racks to 3. And a couple of balls have gone in. He's got a shot in the 1. 2's in the middle of the table. And a good chance to go 6-3 in front. He's overhit that by quite a bit. I don't think he wanted to take it long, but yeah, that'll do. Can still stun the 2 and get on the 3. How's the angle there? Well, he's got a bit too much, so he's going to have to put right hand English on this to check the cue ball, kill it off the left hand rail as we look to hold for the 5. I don't even think he did that. It didn't look as if he did. He's still okay. Now is he going through? No, he's coming back. Oh dear, I think he's sort of half chickened out in that shot there. He didn't go through with it. He's still got a cut. But he needs to watch the pace. Well, the angle's perfect now. Cue ball's just going to go that direction. And I think the 9's off the rail, so it should be a fairly straightforward cut. About an inch and a half off the rail, it should be fine. So there's another result came in. And Lady Hawk against Mark Sharp. Mark Sharp wins the match by 7 racks to 6. Meanwhile, Z Karaoke is now sitting on the hill. 5 balls going into the bottom left. I think you can just push that one into the middle. And a careless effort there. And a Hero Man Kills struggling to get himself a decent shot here and try and get himself back into this match. And that will go in off the 8. But again, no shot in the 2. But he could actually be, well, I don't know, didn't take enough time there, but he could have maybe slammed that 2 onto the 4. Try and maybe nudge the 9 in one way or another. I think he tried that anyway, but it just looked an untidy shot. Meanwhile, a Hero Man Kill has a great opportunity here. If he can punch the cue ball up the table, get beyond that 6, or stay this side of the 6, I think he can still cut the 4. Of course, now the problem is the 6 doesn't go past the 9, and he's overcut that. Now, the other thing to remember here when we're watching is that a Hero Man Kill is playing with a house cue, and regardless of what anybody says, the house cue doesn't have the same power as a standard cue. And the other thing is, it's got the highest I think it's got the highest deflection rating. So it's a basic cue, and there's quite a lot of shots where the deflection's going to play a big part in it. Meanwhile, the mistake's been made, and this for the match. And in goes the 9, combo from the 6 onto the 9, and Z Karaoke wins the match by 7 racks to 3. So now we can have a look at an updated bracket, hopefully. Well, once that result comes through. Well, that match there between Larry and Andre, is it still 2 racks all? And Daily Hustle is trailing by 3 racks to 6 against Paranormal Echoes. And, well, let's have a look at the Larry Andre match and see how things are shaping up. Of course, Andre's getting 7 and out, and Larry's got no shot in the 3. He's playing the jump. He's gone all out to try and cut that. And of course now, Andre, wrong side of the 3, so he's going to have to force the cue ball to get anywhere near this 4 ball. He needs a lot of left-hand English. Well, I honestly don't know that. He played that with right-hand English. All it was going to do is check off the rail and square up. He had to get the cue ball running. Presumably he was trying to play between the 9 and the 8 to play the cut in the 4. And now all he's got is a kick. And that's a golden opportunity to get another rack. Well, he's almost kicked the 4 in. Well, that could have been... it could have been a significant rack there for Andre had he played the right shot. And the shot that he played there was not a big margin of error. Larry's still got to get these 3 balls. Now the 8 ball goes into, well, it did go into the middle. It's had 2/3 of a pocket there. It must be a big mobile. You mean, is it is it a wee laptop or an actual mobile phone, or one of these tablet things you've got? So Larry tidies up. That was a strange shot by Andre there. It really was. But Larry tidies up and goes into the lead. And he gets the 3 ball on the break. He's got a cut in the 1. 2 balls over the bottom left-hand pocket. There's another result came in. Paranormal Echoes has beaten Daily Hustle by 7 racks to 4. And remember, it's double elimination. So Daily Hustle will have another chance. And it's all race to 4 on the 1 loss side. And Larry looking to open up a gap here. Nice open table. And no excuse. You can see where this can go wrong. He plays this too soft and doesn't get either between the 7 and 8, or, well, he's erred on the other side. He's played it nice and soft, so he's not going to bring them into the equation at all. And now he can just push that 9 in, not the 9, the 5. And he can bring the cue ball across for the 6. Take the 6 in there. He's playing it soft again. Now, the danger with that is the angle he's got in the 6. He's got an angle. Anywhere out in the middle of the table would do it. Here, would be fine. Just gone beyond the line. And this is all over this rack. Now, you guys that are watching, if you get a chance, there's a video, one of the most recent videos I've got on my channel is the cribbage final with Gary B. I think it was a Cero he was playing, the Japanese player. And I managed to get the cribbage final the other day. So for any of you guys that are watching, if you want to see how to play cribbage, watch that final. You'll see Gary literally destroy a Cero in a race to 5. Very good shooting. And played cribbage exactly the way you should play it. So Larry has broken off in rack number 7. He's potted something off the break. And he's looking good in this rack. Of course, the problem again is the 4-ball now. He can be really ambitious, or he can leave it long and leave a long cut. That's the simplest shot to play. Just get across here to the right hand side. Or he can try and draw up the table and play something really elaborate. Well, that's what he's done. How's the spin? It's too strong. Well, he's actually finished more or less the angle that he had, that I suggested the first shot, so he's okay. That's worked out fine. Well, this looks simple enough. The 5-ball's the toughest of the lot. Just a straight shot and just a roll through of 2 or 3 inches, and you'll have the perfect angle in the 7 for the right middle. And now he wants to draw over to the rail here, as close to the rail as he can to leave a nice angle in the 8. Just get the cue ball out. Well, he's finished the right side of the 8, so he's still got the angle. Just a little drop in the 8, get the cue ball out by about a foot or so. So Larry's now got a 3-rack gap, and Andre's up against it now. He's got that 7 and out handicap, but is he going to get a chance to use it? This time Larry's broke dry, and Andre has a jump shot, and a pretty straight jump on this 1 ball. Now, the danger of him just following straight into the pocket after this. We hit it offline, maybe had a bit of spin in the cue ball. And Andre might be in trouble in the second here, tucked in behind the 4. That's a pretty reasonable screen. Well, Andre trusted to the jump stick again to get himself out of trouble here. And that's going to work out fine. He's got the cover. Larry's certainly not going to be jumping that, but he's got an easy kick. And if he gets this full, it could leave Andre in trouble again. He wants to hit this one full in the face and try and kill the cue ball there. If he can stop the cue ball, well, it's run through, but it's still fine. Well, Andre's got a nasty cut down into this bottom right hand corner. Well, I don't know what he tried there, but all he's done is left an open table for Larry. I just nudge the cue ball off the rail and back out. I mean, he could go forward with a bit of left and send the cue ball over there. So he's got two choices. He looks as if he's coming back. And a little nudge onto the 8 here will hold for the 4. And that split the 8 nice up nicely. Now with this shot, he doesn't want to run through too far. He doesn't want to get this cue ball close to the left rail. He wants to keep the cue ball out, because when you start playing shots into blind pockets where you're not looking at the pocket, that can lead to trouble. And that's why he's run through. But the mistake's been made. He's run through too far. And remember, Andre has got 7 and out here, so the pressure's on Larry with this one. It's a fairly straight shot, and in it goes, but he's still going to have to dig out another good one. And this time, he's not only got to pot the 7, he's got to get that cue ball onto the 8, and it's not done easily by just rolling the 7 in. He's got to move the cue ball. Again, Larry's using his shot clock, taking his time, getting himself lined up, and that's a great shot. Reasonably well controlled. Now he can again get a choice here. The most obvious one is to go there and up here for the 9 into the same pocket. He's playing this with inside English, left hand English to check the cue ball, kill a bit of the pace, and that's perfect. And so Larry is now on the hill and with the break in rack number 9. And I think this is too big a mountain for Andre to climb. And Larry's got a couple of balls in the break, and he's also got a shot in the 1. And it looks very likely, and the 2 goes past the 9, certainly up the top end of the table there. Larry can just roll through. Well, that almost went wrong. He's still okay, but it's all about getting from the 5 to the 6. Well, the shot is there. He's going to have to dig right down into the cue ball, or he can just roll it through. Simple. He's got two choices. The simple one's to roll through. Well, he's stunned onto the 8. That's a good shot. Again, not being right behind him to look at the angle. It's difficult to see that he had the angle to do that. And a He Remain Kill has won his match in the one loss side against Lady Hawk by 4 racks to 1. And Larry's just about to finish this match off. So Larry, just a roll in the 8 and a roll in the 9, and he wins the match by 7 racks to 2. And Andre moves across the one loss side. Right, let's have a quick update and see what's happening. So Larry is, well, he's going to fill that bracket there in a second or two when it updates. And we have one remaining second round match between Mark Shark and Houdini. We've also got Romario, who's given the 8 ball to Daily Hustle, and Romario is tied at 3-all. Let's go in and have a look at that, because it's a race to 4, remember. So Romario hanging on by the skin of his teeth here, and well, he's got a choice. He can cut the 2, or he can punch it around and hook him behind the 5, and that was a poor shot. He actually put far too much bottom on that and drew the cue ball back out from the 5. That was a bad shot, Romario, and he knows it. And he might have played his last shot. Well, Daily Hustle's banked that. I don't know whether he played the bank, but he's still got a shot in the 6 as well, and he's missed it. And Daily Hustle getting the 8 ball here as his extra money ball, and Romario's got a chance to win the match. He's going to have to leave this. Well, he's decided to run the cue ball. Dangerous. But he's got the angle. Can actually... Well, he could have drawn that up the table. He's now gone 2 square in the 9. This is not easy. And in it goes. So Romario manages to scrape through there by 4 racks to 3. Right, another look at the bracket. Now we're going to move into this match here, this last second round match between Mark Shark and Houdini. And on the bracket, Mark Shark's currently leading by 3 racks to 2, and Houdini's getting the 8 ball as his extra money ball, so we'll jump in there. Mark Shark misses the kick shot in the 2, and this could be a quick rack. Houdini has ball in hand. Now all he needs to worry about is getting this cue ball down here somewhere to play the 3-9 combo, and that needs to keep running. That's poor. He's got no shot in the 3. Not a great effort. He had all that area table. Look at the size of the area that he had to get the cue ball into there, and he failed. So that was bad. And Mark Shark's left that a bit short. He needed to be further up the table. He needed to play in the 4 ball from here. He's got a possible 4-8 combo, but the odds on it at this angle are not good. He's had a go, and the 4 ball still squeezes past the 8. In fact, what am I thinking about is Houdini that's got the he's player 2, he's got the 8-ball handicap. So now we're going to have an attempt at a 5-9 combo. He needs to push the 5 away. Pushed it away too far, ended up hitting the 9 thin. Now I'm looking at the stream quality again. We've gone to amber again. I don't know whether it's lagging a bit or not. It looks reasonably okay on my screen. Well, in goes the 8. And he's overhit that a bit. Could have left that 7-ball into the left middle there, but he's now going to have to play a delicate one in the 7, and well, there wasn't any great position in the 9-ball there. So Houdini just needs to cut the 7, and in it goes, and we're all square again, 3 racks all. Oh no, it was a 7. I'm falling asleep already, guys. Oh dear. He's made a hash of the 9. He's 8 balls the extra money ball, not the bloody 7-ball. You can tell it's getting on it at very close to my bedtime again. We've got about an hour and, let's say, an hour and a quarter to go before we have to pull the plug as usual. Remember, 10:30 British summer time is my cut-off time. Back to work in the morning. 1 ball goes into the middle. No shot in the 2, but he should have a good safety here. Can tuck the cue ball. Well, again, I go back to the same thing I say every week with these players who are somewhere between 1700 and 1900. Not many of them think. There's not an awful lot of evidence of players thinking about what they're doing, which is why they're still stuck round about 17 and 1800 rating. I think some of these players think that, I mean, they like the idea of potting balls, but they don't think an awful lot about preventing their opponent potting balls. They like to try and pot balls, and they need to have an element of safety in their armoury to play this game, as you do in most games. And if they can't see an obvious safety like that one, then they're going to struggle. The 2000 rated players, every time they see a shot like that, they're going to nail you in behind those balls, and Mark had a great chance there. This is why you've got to try and take your game to the next level. If you don't watch and learn from people and playing better people, then you're always going to be playing at the same level. You're never ever going to progress in the game. There's a learning curve to everything that you play, but in virtual pool, it's an individual game, and you're the only one that can help yourself. And you do that by watching and learning, and also by watching the table and watching the balls and looking at the lay of the balls and finding the most difficult thing you can do for your opponent. But anyway, Mark Sharp's the one that's leading 4 racks to 2. In goes the 8. And a pretty straightforward 9 ball, and he's going to have a 3 rack lead. So Houdini, again from Houdini, we've seen a few times before as well. He's the one getting the handicap, but he's not making the most of it. Well, that was nearly a fluke in the 8 ball there. He could have done with that one. But now the 8 ball's tied up with the 9. A little roll through here in the 2. The cue ball's still going to be more or less on the rail. But he can cut that 3 in. Now, depending on the angle he's left, well, he's gone, I think he's gone too far, but the brave shot here to play would to cut the 3 with a bit of left-hand English and try and come across. He's played it plain just to hold for the 4. Of course, he's now going to have to do something at some point to try and nudge the 8 and 9. Well, somewhere there would be the perfect angle to get the cue ball, or somewhere like that maybe. He's too close to the rail, I think, for comfort, but he could come off there and get up and nudge into these. And well, he's made no attempt to nudge into them at all, because look where the cue ball sat. But Houdini has to try and nudge onto the 9 if he can. Delicate little shot, but he's nudged into the 8. Needs a bit of luck here. I think he's okay. He's not left anything that's going to be easy here for Mark. Well, that'll do if it keeps running. But that's sitting on the first diamond there on the left hand side. That's a perfect single bank or double bank. Oh, he's played that all wrong. That was a very easy bank there. So Mark Sharp, again, he can bank the 8. Again, even single bank or double. Again, these guys aren't lining up the banks very well, are they? It's an untidy mess we've got here in this rack. So Houdini to get one back. Well, he cheated a pocket there, but he's got it. Still trailing by 2. 4 balls going into the right hand middle. He's got a shot in the 1. Well, you can see there's a big gulf in quality here in the mix of players that are in the tournament. You've got players here who are struggling for position, struggling to pot a ball. And each of them is taking little or no time over a shot, which is part of the problem as well. So Houdini cheats the 3 ball in. Now he's only got to get to the 8 ball, remember, and he's nudged on to the 8, got it into the middle of the table, and a little drawback off the 6 or a run through and across. It needs to keep going. So off the left, over to the right, and a simple enough 8 ball, and he's got another one back. So he's now trailing by 1. Mark Sharp still leads by 5 racks to 4. Houdini breaking open rack number 10. Now something into the top left there, and it was the 4 ball. No shot in the 1. Houdini straight away there has split the 3 and the 5 up, so that's now opened up the table, and a straightforward enough cut into the left middle, and he just needs to avoid the traffic here and not hook himself, and he's okay. Now again, Mark Sharp, no control over the pace of the cue ball there, far too much pace, and somebody who has their mouse dialed in and their sensitivity set correctly would have much better feel on their shots. The evidence of that was the shot you just saw there, where he's went way up the table. And this is where you're always going to end up getting out of shape. And the difficulty then is stringing 2 or 3 balls together. So Houdini has a shot here where he just needs to get that cue ball up as far beyond that middle pocket. Now that needs the pace on it to bounce up. He's okay. So again, the angle's there, he just needs to get the cue ball to here to play the 8 into the same pocket. And didn't line up that shot whatsoever, which is also why he hit the 8 ball. Well, surely this time Houdini will take the chance. You can just soft touch in the 7 and leave that 8 ball into the left middle. And this to tie the match up. And a Here Remain Kill has put out Romario by 4 racks to 2. And I think that's a pretty good shot there from Houdini. I think he can see the 3. Got the pace right that time. Yeah, we're back in business. Now this is all simple as we look at it. This 6 ball, push it in, cue ball off the end rail, not a lot of power in it, and leave it the top side of the 7. He could have done with hitting it a wee bit harder to get the cue ball out a bit more. Now the cue ball's running a bit. I think he's going to try and hold for the 8. I don't know what the angle is he's got in the 7, but well, no, he couldn't, so it just needs to keep going. So here's the crucial shot, and remember, Houdini only needs the 8 ball, so Mark Sharp needs to get this in. Can't leave it hung up. Well, he's overcut that by a mile, and he might have got away with it. There's a thin cut on it, there's a cross bank here. And in goes the 8 ball. Excellent cut by Houdini. And so Mark Sharp threw away a chance there. A couple of balls are going in, 2 balls, one of them. 5 balls going in as well. So we've lost the 2, the 3 and the 5. And no real shot in the 1. And we've got the 4, the 6 and the 9 all tied up, so there's work to be done in this rack. Well, he tried to draw into the 6 there to nudge them open, but he's hit the 8. So now Houdini, again, a great chance for a safety, but he's tried a combo. Now he could have easily tucked his opponent up there. Houdini's leading by 6 racks to 5. No thought at all about safety, and he's just opened it up for Mark Shark. And all that Mark's got here, well, he's got a very thin cut. He's dropped it in. And remember, Mark's got to get all of these 3 balls, so he's the one under pressure all the time now. And that's wrong, he's going to scratch. That's the basic error when you play shots like that. So this is game over. A gift to Houdini, and Houdini just rolls the 8 ball in, and he wins the match by 7 racks to 5. So there's a lot of learning to be done with these 2 guys. Right, so the bracket is well underway now, and that result is just going to update in a second or 2. Larry's going to be playing Houdini, and no doubt Larry's going to be up against a hefty handicap. Meanwhile, Paranormal Echoes and Z Karaoke, who's getting the 5 ball, which seems a pretty generous handicap, they're tied up at 4 racks all. That's the match we're going to nip in and look at now. So Z Karaoke, that is a fairly generous handicap, getting a 5 ball. But then again, Paranormal Echoes, 2,200 rated player. He's going to have his work cut out in this rack. But he's got an angle to try and make something move here off this 5 ball. Doesn't look as if he's doing that though. It looks as if he's playing the safety. Well, he's played the cut. I think he was more safety inclined there. But now he should probably bury Z Karaoke in behind the 9 and the 7. Unless he's going to try and play a long combo. Well, he would have had the cover if he hadn't played it off the 8. But he's got away with it. Straight away, Z Karaoke will be lining up the combo. No. He's playing safe. So we've got a different level of players in this room. where they're actually playing safety shots to try and open opportunities for themselves. No doubt both these players are playing at a different level from the two guys we've just seen. So the 5 ball, the extra money ball, has gone in this rack. Z Karaoke double banks the 6. It needs the remaining balls to win the rack, remember. Well, there's the mistake, and that was a gilt edge opportunity, and it's thrown away. Well, the problem with Romario is he's had that problem for 20 years. That's his problem. That's a bigger problem than anything. I don't know what went in there, but the 5 balls, one of them. The 4 and the 5 have gone. And it's going to be a little push on the 1 up to the 2. And he's got to push this dead weight. This 1 ball has to hit the 2 pretty much dead on, because if he doesn't, it's going to run safe, this 1 ball. Well, he's okay, caught the edge. 1 ball still in play. I'd be happy with that one. Now, can he run out? 2,200 player. I've got to expect him to run out. Because once again, the 5 ball's gone. And that makes it all the more difficult for Z Karaoke to steal this rack should there be a mistake. He's got to run the whole table, or what's left in the table anyway. Well, how's that sitting? I think you can see enough of that. Then again, maybe not. Nope. Well, he's going to have to line it up and dig out his jump stick, if he has one. But now, can he get past that 9? I don't think he can, unless my eyes are really bad. Now, my eyes are bad enough as it is. Now, he is jumping it. Oh, an incredible lag there. Did you see that guy? Well, you're going to see it in a second, once it comes up in the stream. Well, it's gone safe. But a weird lag in that shot. I'm just waiting to see it on the stream. So Z Karaoke, goodness knows what he can do here. He could just have a bang at this and hope. Well, this 6 is a long distance and it looks easy, but very easy to push these offline. And that's going to go in clean, I think. Oh, I missed that. I forgot about the stream. I was going to look at that lag again on that shot. I missed it. Well, Paranormal Echoes has made the mistake, and that's one that might have got away. Let's have a look at the angle he's got. Well, the angle's there. Now, that was, again, too hard. And Paranormal Echoes has got the same problem. He's got to push this. You've got to go forward. I don't like the draw, because the angle he's got, and that's the middle pocket's a hindrance. I think plenty of top and get this cue ball running. He needs to watch the clock. He doesn't have any. He's on his extension. He needs to get the shot away. Well, he's decided to try and play some kind of safety. Well, you're leading 5-4. You've got a chance. I think he should have went for that. Because this time, Z Karaoke's got the shot in the 8. But I think he's maybe too high an angle here. Oh, he's way high. He's going to have to run it up and down. It needs to keep going as far up as it can. Well, it's one of those. And it goes. And we're tied up again, 5 racks all. Now, if you're a 2,200 player and you've got that sort of shot in the 7 ball that you guys are just watching, you've really got to go for it. You've got to force it and push it through. It was a very difficult shot to try and leave the 7 ball safe. You've got to grab the bull by the horns sometimes and go for your shot. Again, here's a shot in the 2 where the 2 ball goes into the middle, no problem. The problem is the 3 ball isn't going anywhere, so you need a good safety here. There's no advantage really in potting the 2 unless you can nudge into the 6 and 7. You see, the 2 pockets are blocked. He's got no shot, so he's got to nail this behind the 4. That's a shot. Simple enough just to roll in behind the 4 and try and get it tight. Well, he's got away with it. Well, the problem ball is the 4, and believe it or not, the 4 does go past the 7. But he's got to get on it as straight as he can to be able to play that shot. And again, no position in the 4, and he's left the 3 hanging. But now Z Karaoke's got the same problem. And he's got no shot left either, so what the hell's he going to try here? Your guess is as good as mine. He can cheat that pocket past the 9. It will go. Got to be accurate though. Oh, he slammed it into the middle. That was a good shot. And in goes the 5 ball. And Z Karaoke, 1 away. Dry break though. Now, this is a chance. Let's look at the 2-9. The 2-9 combo is you can certainly make it. He's playing to get position in the 2. And he's going to break out these balls one way or another. He just needs a bit of luck. Oh, he's tried to be cute. Tried to be too cute. And he's got nothing on. Now that's a good safety. He's not going to be hitting that 3 ball. So Z Karaoke, well, he's going to be open to the 3 foul here if he tries to roll things up and keep things tight. He's going to be stuck behind that 5 ball in a second if he doesn't move the 3 and the 5. That's exactly what's going through my head. If he doesn't move these, this is where you've got to probably play the deliberate foul, but you've got to think wisely. Now he's going to be in trouble if Paranormal Echoes has got any sense about him. He's going to tie him right up here, and I'd be sending that 3 ball up the table and keeping the cue ball behind the 5. And that's exactly what he's going to do. And Z Karaoke is in deep shit, as they say, in a second or two, or he should be. He should be right tight on that 5. And again, if he's tight enough, he won't have the angle off the rail. And this is why I keep telling players to remap the replay button. See, Karaoke probably doesn't know that you can use the plus and the minus to increase the speed, but if you remap your replay button to the backspace button, then you won't hit it accidentally. Well, that's a good hit. That would have been impossible had Paranormal Echoes got that cue ball tight on the 5. And Andre Hagus has won his match in the 1-loss side. He beats Popman by 4 racks to 3. Meanwhile, Paranormal Echoes has fluked to 4. He's got no shot in the 5, but he can see the edge of it. And Z Karaoke, again, he can stun the cue ball, send the 5 up the table, try and get the cue ball behind the 9. And that's a good shot, although there's a space there, and no doubt Paranormal Echoes will be jumping the 9. Oh no, maybe not. He's looking at a kick. Maybe he doesn't think he can make it. He's got the kick. How's his luck? Well, I'd be happy with that one. Again, remember, Z Karaoke has the 5 ball as the extra money ball. He's caught the edge of it. Where's the cue ball going? It's going to scratch. So this is a crucial visit by Paranormal Echoes. He's got ball in hand, and he's got to run the remaining balls to stay in the match and tie it up at 6-all. And he's run too far. Let's see from his angle. Well, the cue ball is going up the table and down the table. The question is whether he comes down. Oh, wait a minute to sort that out. Hang on. He's coming down the right side, but he's short. He needed to go further right. Now you can go forward and come back off this shot. It's whatever you're comfortable with. If you put a bit of bottom and left on it, the cue ball's going to go that way. And he's gone forward, and it needs the pace to come back up the table. And he's slightly square on it. He should be okay though. So we have a tied ball game, and Paranormal Echoes is breaking off in the 13th and final rack. Well, a nice open break. Nothing down though. Well, there's a bank on here for Z Karaoke. And he's now got a shot in the 2. Now remember, he's got the 2, 3, the 4 and the 5 to pot to win the match. And they're all there. They are all in the open. And he doesn't have to do a lot here. Well, he does now, because this 3 ball isn't easy. And he's got to get the cue ball out and back down the table here towards the 4. Probably from the left hand side. And he's got it. And that's pretty good. So he just needs to fully focus on the 4. Cue ball's going to do its thing. Doesn't need to worry about it. He's on the 5. Just pot the 4. And he's hit that too hard. He's hit that too hard for comfort. A big, big area to go into. He's still got it. I mean, he should get this, but he's now looking at it. And when you're looking at the angles, the more you look at it, the more likely you are to miss. And there you go. Now that might be his chance going. And that's just simply from getting the cue ball running too far. He had all of this area here to put the cue ball into, but if you go here, you're in trouble. And that's exactly where he finished. Well, he doesn't want to soft roll this 7 in, because he doesn't want to finish dead straight in the 8. He needs to get the cue ball comfortable for the 9. And you're just going to leave a little cut on it. Shouldn't be any problem. So Paranormal Echoes wins the match by 7 racks to 6. Now we're well on in the tournament now, and we'll see a quick update. See how things are taking shape. So we've got Houdini with the 5 and out, the big hefty handicap in his favour against Larry, and he's leading by 4 racks to 3 at the moment. We've got Bedhead playing Mark Shark. Bedhead is giving Mark Shark 7 and out, but Bedhead's up 3 racks to 1, so he's on the hill. And we will nip in and catch that. So Mark Shark just needs to pot this 7 ball to get another rack in the board. Now, Why he slammed that in as much, I don't know. There's a danger when you start running cue balls around. You don't need to try and look spectacular, you just need to pot the ball. Couple of balls go in, one in either middle pocket. The 1 and the 5 have gone, and he's sitting pretty well on this 2 ball. And that needs to slow down or keep going, either or, but I think he can just get it. I think he's got the angle just to squeeze past the 9. Wee bit of English on it. No, you hit that too hard for any English to take effect. You've got to let the English take effect if you put English on. If you put English on a shot like that, but you hit it as hard as that, then the cue ball's going to do nothing. So Bedhead has the table at his mercy. Pot all the remaining balls to win the match. Oh dear. Well, surely you would see the in-off was on there. So it's been thrown back to Mark Sharp to tie the match up. So just pot the 6 and the 7. And we've got a hill match. That was a gift thrown away there by Bedhead. And Mark Sharp breaking off in the deciding rack, looking for a ball. Any ball. And a shot in the 1 basically. And he's got neither. I think that 1 ball reverse banks past the 4 into the right middle. That'd be one sort of shot that's on. And he gets it. Oh dear, that's unlucky. That is unlucky. Nailed behind the 8 ball. And no angle to get to that too. Well, he can get it off the rail where the 7 ball is, but it's not an easy angle to read. And he's going to try and jump it. I think he's too close, is he? Oh, he's got it. And I've got another one of those lags there on that shot. Haven't seen that for a while. Well, the tournament's been going on for just a fraction under the 2 hours. Well, there's a poor one. But it's going to have to be another good shot from ball in hand here for Bedhead to get on that 3 ball. 3 ball goes in, no problem. Past the 7. No shot from this side as we look. So it's all about judging pace. And that's pretty nigh perfect. Good angle to come back up for the 4. And another good angle just to roll through and leave this 5 down the rail. The 6 ball isn't going to be a problem, and the 7 to follow shouldn't be either. But the important thing with the 7 ball is finishing like here, so we can drop behind the 8. or if he finishes here, he's got the angle to drop behind at 8. So it looks simple. You've got to be thinking though. And is that straight? No, he can stun it in. If he hits it firm, he's okay. Well, this is either a little roll through or a little soft draw. A little roll through it is. Inside English to check it back to the right. Stop it running towards the 9. And so Bedhead wins the match by 4 racks to 3. And very quickly, I think what we're intending to do here is nip in and see how Larry and Houdini are getting on. Houdini's leading by 5 racks to 4. He's at the table. He has a shot in the 4, a danger of a scratch in the left middle though. And he's got it safe as well. So Larry's up against it here. He's going to have to get himself out of this. He can catch the edge of the 4. He just needs to watch the pace. He could scratch off this 7 ball here. Needs to be careful. Well, dare I say it, folks, I mean, commentator's eye, but that was a danger. Larry had to watch the pace. And the only thing that's his saving grace here is the 4 ball slightly awkward, but he can drop behind a 4 ball in hand here. And a push up the table with a 5. So he's got 5 and out. Oh, that's not a very good effort by Houdini. Yep, you've got to have the commentator's eye to see that shot coming. I'm just watching it on the stream and looking at the edge that Larry could see in that 4 ball. It was more than obvious that if he hit this hard, he was going to scratch off the 7. If he hit it soft, he could have dropped in behind the 7 possibly. But anyway, as it is, Houdini couldn't take his chance, and it was a fairly straightforward chance when you think about it. And Larry's in a bit of trouble again. He's dead straight in the 7, tight in the rail, and this is about judgment of pace. And it's just going to be a roll in the 8 and leave the cut in the 9. Nothing elaborate here, I don't think. So this to tie the match up. So we're all square, 5 racks all. And of course Larry under pressure every rack. When you're given 5 and out, you're just on the brink. You cannot make a mistake. But then again, your opponent has to take the advantage, and Houdini, time and time again over the weeks that we've watched this, is pretty adept at throwing chances away. But this time, he plays the 1-9 combo, and no sooner we said that, he's back in the lead. Took that chance okay. Now, I think 5 balls have gone in off the break. 2 of them were money balls. They've been spotted. He's got a shot in the 2. And remember, he only needed to get on the 5. Is the 2 getting in? No! Oh, Larry's just breathed a sigh of relief. Of course, Larry's the man with the problem. 7 and 8 are tied up. He's got all the work to do. Houdini doesn't need to worry about any of those 2 balls. He just needs to worry about the 5. He's not going to get that chance. But Larry has to have some sort of shot off this 6 ball. Now the angle that he has, he can drop the cue ball to here and cut the 6 into the middle and split the 7 and 8 that way. That looks the most obvious shot. He could come back the other way. He's come back the other way and he's stunned the 5, and there you go. And it's all over. The gift for Houdini. And Houdini wins the match 7 racks to 5, and that's 5 and out for you folks. So Larry is going to have to work his way through the one lost side. And let's have another look at the bracket, and we'll see that Larry is about to play a hero men kill in the race to 4. Meanwhile, oops, this bloody bracket. Meanwhile, Houdini is going to be playing Paranormal Echoes, and that is going to be the hot seat match to see who gets in tonight's final. And we've also got Andre Hagus about to play Bedhead to see who plays Z Karaoke. And Houdini is getting 6 and out against Paranormal Echoes, and I think Paranormal Echoes is going to struggle in that match as well. That's a hefty handicap he's given away. And the hero men kill is getting 7 and out against Larry in that match, and Andre Hagus is getting the 5 ball as his extra money in that match. And I think what we'll do is we will watch a bit of this Houdini match and keep an eye on what's happening over this side. We've got one player in the room. Paranormal Echoes is sitting there in away mode. So remember folks that each match or each round, when your room comes up, you get notified, you get an audible notification in the lobby telling you that your room's up. Now you've got 5 minutes to get in the room once the room goes up. If you fail, you will then forfeit the match. And Houdini's already sitting there waiting. Paranormal Echoes may well be taking a bathroom break or something like that. So he's got enough time to get there. Well, we'll see if he does get there. He should be in the room now, it looks like it. So let's join that match. The two of them are just about to lag off. And Paranormal Echoes, I think... I'm trying to remember, is he the one with the house key or is it Houdini? Oh, Houdini won the lag. So just a reminder, Houdini's getting 6 and out. 6, 7, 8 and 9 balls are all his money balls. And the pressure's really on Paranormal Echoes. So the little billiard on the 2 ball, but no shot left in the 1. Now this could be a perfect example here. Paranormal Echoes has a shot in the 1. It does go past the 5, it's tight. And he's on the 3. So he's got the 3, he's got from these balls here to run out. I think maybe we were seeing the house cue there because the cue hadn't loaded onto my system when they were doing the lag there. Because he's playing with a cue, not a house cue. So this is the point where Paranormal Echoes can't make a mistake, because now we're in Moneyball territory and he's made the mistake. He's in no man's land on this 6 ball. Pressure heaped on him to get the 6 ball. And as long as he doesn't scratch, that's a good shot. How's the angle though? Well, that's a bit punchy. He's got to do something to get that cue ball up. He needs to get that butt up and get a little punch into it, and he's almost there. And this is again a delicate little touch shot, a little bit of right English just to spin up the table, and he's perfect. So Paranormal Echoes holds himself together and wins the first rack. Well, looking at the clock, folks, it's 10 minutes past 10. We've got about another 20 minutes to go. Well, that's a fairly simple combo from the 1 and the 3. But he's left no shot in the 1. Again, Paranormal Echoes can get the cue ball, try and get it up behind the 9. He could bring the cue ball down here to the bottom of the screen and send the 1 back that way towards the 9. He got a choice of doing either or. And he sent the 1 towards the 9, using the 9 ball as a stopper. Now I wonder if Houdini's going to try and stun the cue ball along the rail to nudge the 9 in. I don't think that was really on. You could have done that in Virtual Pool 3. I don't think it's anywhere near as easy to try shots like that in VP4. He's overcut it. Well, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but Houdini just needs to get out onto this 4 one way or another, and that looks pretty good. He's a bit high though. Cue ball's running into the 7 and the 8 here. But anything to get a shot in the 5. And he's overcut the 4. Once again though, he should be in trouble. I think you can see an edge of the 4, and he should have this cue ball behind the 7 and 8. He's hit it too hard. That's one that got away there. So Houdini just needs the 4, the 5 and the 6. Well, we're in a similar position to the first rack. Houdini's missed his chance there. Paranormal Echoes has got an open table, and I think he's gone too far. So here's the prime example of where he's under pressure. He's going to have to play a jump to get out of this one. And I don't think the cue ball's going to be in a great position for a shot in this 6 after he plays this, because the cue ball's running towards the 9. He's got a lot of pace in it. That was a great jump. Got another one of those lags there as well. Well, that was a good shot. He's used the 7 and 8 for cover. Played the possible bank on the 6. He's missed it. Oh well, there you go. That's one way of getting yourself out of trouble. The kick shot played in the 6, and he's cut it into the middle. And we're all square, 1 rack all. Right, now while Houdini's breaking off in rack number 3, let's go back to the bracket. And we'll see that Larry is sitting 3-0 up against a Hero Men Kill. And remember, a Hero Men Kill is getting this 7 and out, so it looks as if Larry's not giving him a chance. That's the way it looks on paper. Let's just have a quick look into that match if we can. And for some reason, it's not working. You should be able to hit the little circle and it'll take you into the other room. Let's have a look. Nope, we're still in the same room. Well, the match is over anyway, that's why I can't get into the room. The bracket hasn't updated. Larry's just won the match by 4 racks to 0. Right, so Larry's now through, and Larry's going to have a little wait because the Andre Hagus match is still going ahead between him and Bedhead. Bedhead's up by 2 racks to 1, and the winner of that match is going to play Z Karaoke, and then the winner of that match is the one that's going to play Larry. So Larry's got maybe 40 minutes possibly, well maybe not as much as that, maybe half an hour to wait before he gets his next match, so he can have a little break. Well, the 4 ball doesn't go, but he can clip the 7 in if he plays the edge. Is that a combo? Oh, it's a dead set combo, I think. Yep. It's a little tester. 9 balls off the rail. Shouldn't be a problem, but it always tests your nerve, a wee shot like this. So, Paranormal Echoes into the lead. Four ball goes in. And that 8 ball has just done him there. He had a shot in the 1 there for a second, and then the 8 ball just ran off the rail. Let's see if Houdini's thinking. Drop nicely behind the 2. So it's all about pace again. Cue ball off the end rail, back up for a shot in the 3. And, well, did he really think about any position there? I don't think so. There's a bit of traffic to avoid there, so he's actually played that nice, a little draggy shot just to kill the pace in the cue ball. Hold it for the 5. He's now the wrong side of the 6, but there's plenty of room. You can use 2 rails or 3 rails here to get on this 7. He's just under hit it slightly. He's okay though. Now how's the angle though? Well, he can just pot the 7. He's going to try and take as much pace off as he can just to hope for the 8, which he's done. And this is looking good. Oh dear, no sooner have we said that, he's hung up the 8. So a gift for Houdini. And this is why these players are under so much pressure when they're at the table. When you get to the money ball end of the rack, you know, it is going through your head subconsciously. You're thinking, I can't make a mistake. And this is where you've just got to play the table and get that out of your head. Now, do you try and nudge that 1 up the table and stun the cue ball, or draw it down into the 6 and 2? Try and tuck the cue ball up. Well, he's waiting for the wild cut in the 1, which he gets, but of course he's got no shot in the 2. So just a kick into the 2, but the 2 is not going to go very far because that 5 and 6 are going to hold it there. And he spun the cue ball in behind it and left it open. Well, now Paranormal Echoes is in prime position here. Now, what does he do with this shot? And he try to spin in behind the 5, leave it into the top right as we look. And now he's in that no man's land territory. Can't make your mind up where to go for this. He's going into bottom left or top left as we look. A good effort, but as it is, Houdini's just got the 5 and the 6 to get. Once again, far too hard. A huge area to put that cue ball in, and he's put it in the area that you don't want to put it in. And he left to play the bank. So Paranormal Echoes breathes again. But he's got his work cut out here. A nasty cut in the 6. And he's going to have to leave a long one in the 7. Well, this looks a much more comfortable bank than a cut to me. He's played the cut, he's got the pace right, and he's perfect in the 8. Made his mind up, decided that was the right way to play it for position. And he's now got a lead again, 3 racks to 2. Well, we're almost drawing our coverage of the Friday night 9-ball this week to a close. We've got about another 5 minutes to go. My brain's in shutdown mode. While Paranormal Echoes is thinking about this 2-ball, let's have one last look at the bracket. And we'll see that Andre Hagus is trailing by 3 racks to 2. Remember, he's getting a 5-ball. Let's jump into that match for a quick look. And looking at the table, the 5 balls already gone, so the odds are stacked against Andre in winning this match, because he has to pot all the balls. And Bedhead is coming to the table with no shot in the 2. That's actually worked out not bad. Well, Andre, if you're going to stay in this match, now would be a good time to actually run out this table. The 4-ball, big window. The problem is he didn't get high enough on the 3, so there's the gap. The gap to get onto that 4-ball. So the cue ball's going to have to go across and back across into this space here. And how's his pace? That looks pretty good. He's going to finish on the line. Same thing here, just go through on the 4 and leave the 6 into the left middle. Don't do anything elaborate. Cue ball should be coming here and coming here to leave that 6 into the middle. Why is he playing lots of draw? Now that again, just lack of knowledge. He could have cheated and created a slight angle there to send that cue ball off the end rail and to here to play that 6 into the middle. As it is now, he's got a half and half shot here. This could be his last chance. It was a poorly thought out shot there by Andre, but the shot was definitely on to leave the 6 into the left middle. He's now going to have to pull a shot out to keep himself in this tournament. And he's overcut it. And that could be his last shot in the tournament. And it's times like this I wish that these guys were in TeamSpeak or something, where you could tell them what to do. So it's going to be a little draw off the 7. Well, he's stunned it. Now the cue ball's running, and this can easily overrun. And that's why he's taking his eye off it. It's still not all over. Andre just, again, simple thing. Cue ball off there and out here, 9 ball into the middle. Just a soft pace. Now he's got the cue ball running again for no particular reason. And he's finished behind the 9. Again, that's just by fortune, not probably by any particular technique to get there. And in it goes. He's tied the match up. He's still in there, but he's going about it the wrong way. Now would be a good time to get the benefit of that 5 ball if it stays on the table. Dry break. And dare I say it, there's a good chance here of a combo in this 9. If Bedhead takes his time and looks at the cut angle in the 9, the match could be all over. It's a good guide, that 7 ball, believe it or not. Well, he's not even taking the chance. I would have took the chance there. Because now the table's open and Andre's got his own chance. Well, let's have a look here what he's got. Well, that's too thin, that 2 ball. If he hits something, cue ball's going to go there. If he comes here, he's got a shot in the 3 into the corner, and that'll do it. That's better than nothing. And now you have to be confident to play the shot. You play the little draw shot off the 3 and draw across for the 4. Oh, well, he got the position. But that, as soon as I keep saying this as well, whenever you start digging down in the cue ball, if you dig it down, you can easily put unwanted English in the cue ball, send that object ball offline. He hung it up. Now, Bedhead has a nasty thin cut in the 4, but he should be on the 5. He might even hit the 9 ball here and hold for the 5. If he doesn't, he'll come across here and back across for the 5. Can he see it though? Oh, he can. Yeah, he's hit the 9 and he's still got a shot. But this is the pressure ball. This is the money ball, or the first one anyway. And he's hung it up, and Andre is going to win the match. Now that's Andre getting the benefit of the 5 ball as his extra money ball. And with that, folks, as long as he doesn't do something bloody stupid here, but lots of draw and spin the cue ball everywhere, where the hell is he going? That is not the shot to play either. Well, anyway, he's through, and he wins the match by 4 racks to 3. One last look at the bracket. We'll see that Andre's now going to play Z Karaoke. And with that, folks, thanks to those that are still watching, if there's anybody. And I will bid you a good night, and I will see you again sometime, folks.